Princess Silera Ven's clawed fingers clamped around Evan's wrist like a vice. "I'm carrying your child," she projected, her voice booming through the docking corridor's translator fields. Hollow cameras whirred overhead, capturing every scale on her azure face. Evan froze mid-stride, toolkit swinging from his belt. Station techs and alien dignitaries halted, frills flaring, tails lashing. Whispers erupted into shouts.
"Human? With the princess?"
Silera yanked him forward, her pregnant swell pressing against his side. Her heat radiated through his jumpsuit. Venari body temp ran hotter than human norm. "Move," she hissed.
"They'll tear us apart." Evan scanned the corridor.
Guards in gold-trimmed armor pushed through the crowd, plasma batons charging.
Chancellor Keld's face flickered on a nearby newsfeed, his jowls quivering.
Scandal. Illegitimate spawn. No time for questions. Evan pivoted, shielding Silera with his body. He bolted for the nearest maintenance hatch, 20 meters ahead. Her grip bruised his skin, but he matched her stride. Venari legs were springy, built for palace sprints. A guard lunged. Evan sidestepped, hooked his toolkit strap around the alien's ankle. The guard tripped into a cargo crate, batons sparking harmlessly. Silera's free hand flashed claws, slashing a second guard's uniform. They burst through the hatch.
Evan slapped the override. The door hissed shut.
He punched the manual lock, 3 deadbolts cycling with a satisfying funk. Fists pounded metal. Silera slumped against a conduit rack, breath ragged. The bay smelled of ozone and lubricant. Evan's domain. Tool benches lined the walls, his half-repaired gravlifter humming in the corner.
"You're the father," she said, not a question. Her golden eyes locked on his.
One night, the diplomatic mixer.
"It took." Evan nodded once.
Biology didn't lie. Human sperm swam faster. Venari eggs ripened unpredictably. Dr. Null's briefings had warned of cross-species risks, but here they were. Guards want you safe or me dead. Silera straightened, regal even in grease-streaked silks. Chancellor Keld spins this as weakness. My claim bond will force legitimacy. She seized his hand again, pressing it to her abdomen. A faint kick rippled under his palm. Strong, insistent. Skin to scale. Or they declare the child void.
Evan's pulse jumped. Legal chains across species?
His free hand checked the door seals. Solid. How long? Until birth, or formal challenge. Her tail coiled around his calf, anchoring him.
Heat bloomed where they touched. Intimate.
Unyielding. Pounding intensified.
Princess, surrender the abductor. Commander Varro's gravel voice boomed through the intercom.
"Human, release her or face voiding."
She nodded, eyes fierce. Goal, buy time. Conflict, Varro's protocol. He knew station systems cold, human maintained, layered with Earth safety redundancies aliens ignored. Claim bond holds, Silera called back. Stand down, Commander. Lies. Scanners show no bond markers. Varro's silhouette loomed outside the porthole, 4-armed frame blocking light. Open now, tech. Or, I breach. Evan's mind raced. Breach meant plasma torches, minutes, but guards would swarm. He kept his hand on her swell, feeling the child's rhythm sync with his heartbeat. Steady, practical. His eyes hit the emergency panel. Red lever, human labeled, pressure drill. Station protocol, drills cleared corridors weekly. Aliens treated them as nuisances, never triggered manually. Trust me, Evan murmured to Silera. She squeezed his wrist. Affirmation. He yanked the lever. Klaxons wailed station-wide.
Emergency pressure drill. All personnel to safe zones.
Evacuate corridors. Hatches slammed. Footsteps thundered past. Varro cursed, audible through the door. False alarm? Rook, you monkey trickster. Evan triggered the bay's internal lockdown. Lights dimmed to yellow. Safe mode engaged. The pounding stopped. Silera exhaled, tail loosening a fraction. Clever. Your protocols outpace ours.
Human habit. Evan released the lever but kept contact.
Her scales softened under his thumb, almost velvety now. Saves lives. How do we end up here? Her gaze dropped. Fertility right. Palace pressure. You were...
Unassuming. Safe.
A cultural slip Venari valued flash. Humans fixed quietly. Keld intercepted my medic scans. Now he rallies succession rivals.
Evan processed.
Palace politics. Keldis power broker. Framing the pregnancy as scandal. Silera's claim bond forced legitimacy, but only if unchallenged. Varro tested him. Protocol demanded it. The child kicked harder. Evan instinctively pressed firmer. Salirala leaned into him, frills relaxing. It recognizes you. Warmth spread, not just her heat. Bond forming, biology bridging cultures. He spotted a med scanner on his bench. Doctor. Vitals stable. She nodded. Garrick confirmed viability. Human endurance tempers our haste. Outside, boots echoed. Drill ending. Varro's voice returned sharper. Drill's over, Rook. Open. Princess, signal if coerced.
Sailor's claws pricked Evan's palm, warning or plea.
He protects, she broadcast. Bond witnesses confirm. Silence. Then, witnesses? Corridor cams blacked in drill. Varro paused. Stand by. Physician inbound. Evan exhaled. Time bought. He guided Sailora to the gravlifter, easing her onto the padded seat. His hand stayed linked. Toolkit open. He pulled a multi-scanner, syncing to her biorhythms. Pulse elevated. Stress? Politics. Her tail brushed his knee. Deliberate. You don't flinch. Fixed worse than coups. He calibrated the scanner. Human interfaces clicked intuitively. Binary tech lagged on adaptability. Readings flashed. Hybrid heart strong. Oxygen levels optimal. Evan's redundant lungs in play, per Null's notes. Door rattled. Dr. Null here. Open for exam. Sailora tensed. Evan scanned the feed. Slender Eric, tentacles twitching with datapads. No guards yet. Admit, Sailora ordered. Evan cycled the lock. Eric slipped in, eyes widening at their clasped hands. Claim Bond. Bold. Chancellor demands isolation. Coup whispers grow. Evan blocked the door, not till stable.
Eric's tentacles flew, cross-referencing.
Impressive integration, Eric muttered. Human placental buffers prevent rejection. But cultural rift, Keld petitions voiding. Salira's grip tightened. Batons holstered but eyes narrowed. Forearms flexed, testing posture. You trigger drill without clearance. Standard procedure. Evan met his gaze. Cleared threats. Protected asset. Varro circled, sniffing. Binary sent analysis.
Asset? Princess's heir.
She's family now.
Evan's voice stayed level. Hand on swell, kick answered. Varro halted. Frills twitched, surprise. Family? Humans bond so simply? Actions, not words. Check data. Varro glanced, paused.
Viable. Stronger than pure blood scans.
He grunted. Protocol adapts. But Kelted moves. Succession vote at dawn.
Salira rose, Evan's support steadying her.
We face it together. Alarms pinged. External feed. Keld's shuttle docking. Guards massing anew. Evan's toolkit hummed. He palmed a disruptor pulse. Human safety override.
They breach, it shorts the corridor grid.
Varro's eyes gleamed. Show me. Sailor's tail coiled tighter. Keat built. Bond sealed in crisis, not force. Evan palmed the disruptor pulse into the panel. Wires sparked under his fingers. The corridor grid flickered on the feed, lights dimming outside. Watch. He traced the override sequence. Varro leaned in.
Human failsafe? Varro's frills quivered. Station standard.
Short's power if breached without code. Buys time. Salira's hand squeezed his. Her scales warmed against his skin. Effective. Alarms silenced. Keld's shuttle clamped. Guards halted at the dead grid. Varro straightened. Good. Now protocol. Princess to secure quarters.
Tech, you report to holding?
Sailor's tail lashed. He stays. Evan met her gaze. Her pupils dilated. Vanari stress signal.
He nodded once. Threat checklist first.
Varro's batons twitched. Checklist. Evan pulled a battered datapad.
Human drill. Covers basics.
He faced Salira. Eyes on exits. Always. She mirrored his scan. Doors, vents, feeds, all clear. Threats, intrusion, air loss, power fail. He held up fingers. Closed fist. All clear. One finger. Check vents. Two. Seal doors. Thumb and pinky. Evacuate. Salira repeated the signals. Her claws clicked precise. Simple. Retain. Varro snorted. Child's game. Works. Evan pocketed the pad. Saved crews on haulers. Eric's tentacles curled. Efficient. But Kelt masses petitioners. Salira rose. We move. Together, Evan grabbed his toolkit. Service tunnels, low profile. Varro blocked the door. Restricted. Evan tapped the override, lock hissed open. Cleared. Celira slipped past first. Her swell brushed his arm. Protective instinct flared. He followed, toolkit slung, tunnels hummed. Dim strips lit conduits.
Pipes hissed steam.
Separate quarters. Varro growled behind. Protocol. Celira halted. Tail coiled around Evan's leg. Refuse. Bond claims him. Ivane felt the grip tighten. Binari claim mark permanent. Varro paused. Scanned the bond glow on her neck. Irrevocable.
Fine, but test him.
Evan knelt at a junction, scanned schematics.
Here. Scrap panels for walls. He yanked conduits. Metal sheeting clanged free. Welded edges with his torch sealed tight. Salira watched, hand on belly. You build havens from waste. Scraps reliable. Evan layered panels. Foam seals from spare kits plugged gaps. Manual air pump rigged from a recycler hose, bellows action, no power needed. Varro tested a seam. Holds pressure. Kick rippled under Celira's palm. Evan pressed his hand over. Steady thrum answered. Strong. Varro's voice softened, frills relaxed. Eric unpacked the scanner inside the half-built room. Lie down, princess. Full diag. Celira reclined on a crate. Hollow beams swept her form. Evan monitored vitals on his pad. Cross-linked. Tentacles froze. Eric's beat clicked alarm. Metabolic mismatch. Human Veneri hybrid demands protein station food lacks. Toxins build. Pregnancy crashes in days. Solera's scales paled. Solutions? Special diet. Rare enzymes. Galley can't dispense. Eric's eyes flicked to Evan. Human rations might bridge. Your biology aligns partial.
Evan nodded. Done.
He jacked into the tunnel console, overrode galley limits. His allotment tripled, rerouted to their codes. Your share? Celira's claws dug in. Plenty. He portioned bars from his pack. High protein fortified. Humans adapt. Varro crossed arms. Self-sacrifice? Protocol rations medics first. Evan handed Celira a bar. She bit. Flavors clashed on her tongue, but she chewed steady. Tastes earthen. Vital. Eric sampled data. Stabilizes. Enzymes match hybrid needs. Alarms pinged soft external feed. Keld's voice boomed through vents. Princess isolated. Scandal void succession. Vote now. Guards rattled doors. Power flickered. Evan sealed the safe room. Fist signal to Celira. All clear inside. She returned it. Tail uncoiled, partial, trust.
Varro man to feed.
They probe grids. Your short holds.
Evan patched a subcom.
Null. Flagged the mismatch public. Buys legitimacy.
Eric beamed data at a palace net. Transmitting.
Cultural precedent. Hybrid airs strengthened lines. Celera leaned into Evan. Heat synced. Bond pulse. You rewrite our world. Fix what's broke. Steady rhythm filled the space. Kick answered again. Stronger. Varro grunted approval. Keld's shout echoed. Intruders in tunnels. Secure the air. Boots thundered closer. Evan gripped his toolkit. Positions. Celira's claws laced his. Signals flashed. Ready. But the doctor's scan lingered on the hollow. A shadow flickered in the hybrid readout. Not mismatch. Something growing faster. Evan's pulse quickened. He tapped Eric. That anomaly. Eric's tentacle stilled. Not toxin. Acceleration. Imminent? Celira gasped. Contraction gripped. Scales flushed deep. Varro spun. Now? Evan blocked the door seal. We hold. Change normal together. Feed crackled. Keld's forces breached outer grid. Disruptor hummed live.
Celira breathed through pain. Hand signal steady.
Fist clear. For now. Bond heat surged. Family forged in the crush. But the hollow pulsed red. Hybrid vitals spiking.
Not stable. Evan rerouted more power.
Talk me through it, Doc. Eric unpacked birth kit. Human resilience key. Venari, fast labor, hours, not days.
Varro batons out. I guard.
You deliver. Tunnel shook. Breach imminent. Celira gripped harder. Evan. Promise. He met her eyes. Family first. Kick turned to wave. Labor hit full. Keld's voice roared closer. Surrender the pretender. Evan welded final seal. Air cycled pure. They faced it. Competence clashing. Crisis. Bond unbreakable. But the hybrid's shadow grew. 2 forms? Eric's beak dropped. Twins. Human trait, unexpected. Salira laughed through pain. Ours! Guards. Hammered. Disruptor charged. Evan signaled. Hold. Family expanded. Coup closed in. The first cry built. Defiant. Varro smiled rare. Humans. Extraordinary. Evan pushed the pump. Breathed for 3. Changed normal.
Now. Feed. Exploded. Breach.
Batons clashed outside. Inside, life pushed through. Salira roared Venari triumph. Evan caught the first. Tiny, scaled, human grip strong. Second followed. Perfect hybrid fury. Keld's forces faltered at the cries. Varro's voice boomed subcom. Airborne. Twins viable. Stand down. Petitioners hushed. Boat shattered. Salira cradled them. Evan wrapped arms around all. Heat sealed eternal. Chancellor retreated. Scandal flipped strength. Bond not force, choice, crisis to kin. But Eric scanned post-birth. One more anomaly. Human buffers, rewrote her biology permanent. Salira's eyes gleamed. More? Evan grinned. Family grows. Varro saluted. Protocol updated. Stations stabilized. Humans fixed it. Aliens held the line, together.
Coup dust. Heirs cried.
Normal changed forever. Commander Varro's claws dug into Evan's arm.
Yanked him through the embassy ring's blast doors.
Alarms wailed. Guards flanked them, rifles humming. Move, human. Varro's voice grated like gravel. Hearing starts now.
Evan stumbled but kept pace. His toolkit banged against his thigh.
Station grease still smeared his hands. 1 minute fixing a coolant leak. Next this. They burst into the royal chamber. Crystal walls pulsed with Venari holograms. Petitioners hushed. Princess Salira stood at the dais center, her scaled hand on her swollen belly. Her eyes locked on Evan. Relief flashed, then steel. Chancellor Keld loomed beside her. His robes swirled like oil. The pretender arrives. Finally. Varro shoved Evan forward. Evan caught his balance.
He scanned the room. Hollow screens flickered with news feeds.
Crowds outside the ring chanted. Salira stepped closer, her tail coiled protectively. Evan, you are claimed. Keld's laugh echoed. Claimed? By a station rat? This pregnancy shames the Venari line. The human must prove paternity. Publicly. Petitioners murmured. Cameras whirred. Evan flexed his fingers. No fear. Just facts. Paternity's not the issue. Protection is.
Keld sneered. Bold words from off-world scum.
Separate them. Now. Confine the princess until the child proves pure. Salira's grip shot out. She seized Evan's wrist. Her scales warmed against his skin. Claws pricked but held firm. Royal Decree 47, Alpha. Claim bond activates in crisis. He stays within arm's reach. Law binds us. Keld's eyes narrowed. You twist tradition, Highness. For this. Technician.
Her voice cracked like thunder.
For my heir. Test him if you doubt. Varro shifted.
His gaze bored into Evan. Protocol demands proof. Human.
Speak. Evan nodded. He pulled his wrist pad, thumbed the station logs. Hollow projected timestamps. Clear as welds.
Here.
Repair schedules. 6 months back. I fixed the outer ring vents. Never entered her suite. Not once. Gasps rippled. Salira's grip tightened. Pride gleamed in her eyes. Keld leaned in. Scanned the logs. His frills flared. Then he smiled. Sharp teeth glinted. Good. Then the human can't be the father. Salira didn't let go. Evan held steady. Doesn't change the bond. Or the baby. Understand.
Keld whirled on the petitioners. Scandal confirmed.
No physical access. This is engineered deceit. Some lab trick to undermine succession. Custody hold on the princess. Isolate the pretender. Murmurs swelled to roars. Guards advanced. Varro raised a claw. Chancellor's order stands. But claim bond complicates. He eyed Evan. You? Comply quiet or I test your bones. Salira pulled Evan closer. Her belly brushed his side. The kick inside thumped strong. We go together. Law or no.
Keld barked.
Escort them to protective confinement. Separate quarters enforced. Varro gripped Evan's other arm. Celera matched stride. They marched out. Embassy corridors blurred. Elevators hissed down to sublevels. Evan felt her pulse race through the grip. Steady. We've got logs. Proof buys time. She nodded. Frills quivered. Kel plots Cooper. Hair legitimizes me. You. Make it real. Doors sealed behind. Confinement wing. Sterile white. 2 cells faced each other. Force fields shimmered. Varro halted them. Arm's reach only. No contact beyond. He punched codes. Fields parted just enough. Celera refused to release. She dragged Evan into her cell. Field snapped shut behind. Varro growled. Princess? Law, she snapped. Test it in court. Evan scanned the cell. Basic med panel. Nutrient dispenser. No windows. Air recyclers hummed. His design. We hold here. Keld's voice boomed over comms. Enjoy your cage, pretenders. Scans tomorrow prove fraud. Celera sank onto the bunk, pulled Evan down beside her. Her hand stayed locked. They come for the child. Evan checked the med panel. Vitals steady. Hybrid heartbeat strong.
Not today. He patched his wrist pad to the cell console.
Pulled station feeds. Varro's loyal. Kill watch Keld.
Scales cool against his jumpsuit.
Your calm unnerves them. Venari rage. Fix. Footsteps echoed. Dr. Eric Knoll entered the adjacent cell. Beak clicked. Scanner and claws. Mandatory check. Paternity proxy. Varro loomed at the field. Make it quick, doctor. Chancellor's impatient. Eric's lenses word on Evan.
Human. Logs check.
No entry. Yet DNA match pending. He turned to Celera. Highness release for scan. She tightened. He stays. Evan stood.
Scan us both.
Eric hesitated. Beak parted. Unorthodox. Efficient. Evan rolled sleeve. Needle pricked. Celera mirrored. Data streamed. Keld's face hollow flickered in. Results? Eric froze. Confirmed. Human genome dominant in hybrid markers. But conception, artificial.
Aerosol transfer.
Evan shrugged. Leaky suit during repair. Station air mixes everything. Petitioner's feeds exploded outside. Human ingenuity sires air. Keld's smile vanished. Impossible. Custody holds. Confinement doubles. Varro crossed arms. Twice the guards. No escapes. Cell lights dimmed. Celera's head dropped to Evan's shoulder. Exhaustion hit.
They fear you now.
Evan wrapped an arm around her. Careful of the belly. Fear facts. We build from here. Hours ticked. Kelt's probes hammered. Hollow screens blared scandals. Varro patrolled, eyes testing Evan each pass. Evan tinkered. Rigged the nutrient dispenser for better flow. Human tolerances, alien stomachs rebelled otherwise. Celera sipped. Color returned. Practical, she murmured. Tail curled around his leg. Claim bond deepens.
He nodded.
Felt a kick again. Tiny fist punch. Family does that. Eric slipped back at shift change. Whispered through field. Biology clash. Human buffers in your fluids. Rewrote her womb lining. Permanent fertility boost. Twins possible. Celera's eyes widened. More heirs? Evan grinned. Human normal. Multiples happen. Varro overheard. Frills twitched. Extraordinary. Protocol blind to this. Alarms blared anew. Keld's voice. Coup forces breach ring perimeter. Secure the pretenders. Boots thundered.
Disruptors charged.
Evan, promise.
He met her eyes. Family first.
Confinement shook. Politics closed in. But Evan's hands stayed steady. Logs loaded fresh backups. Venn schematics glowed on his pad. Varro sealed the outer door. Hold position. My line holds. Keld's shadow grew. Forces massed. Celera breathed deep. Labor teased at edges. Evan welded a panel seal. Air cycled pure.
Competence clashed crisis. Bond unbreakable.
Doctor.
Eric's scanner beeped. Kick turned wave.
Labor imminent. Guards hammered outside. Celera laughed through first contraction. Evan signaled Varro. Hold. Inside, life pushed. Twins defied the storm. Keld roared closer. Surrender the pretender. Evan pumped the med boost. Breathed steady for 3. Batons clashed. Cries built, defiant. Varro's rare smile cracked. Humans? Extraordinary. Feet exploded. Breach faltered at the first wail. Sailor roared triumph. Evan caught the scaled miracle. Human grip strong. Second followed. Hybrid fury perfect. Varro boomed subcom. Heirs born. Twins viable. Stand down. Chancellor retreated. Eric scanned Doctor. Eric scanner beeped sharp. Hybrids of your species don't survive this trimester. Vital signs flicker. We need synthetic carrier proteins, now. Evan didn't pause. He slapped the Fab Lab terminal awake. Printing them. Specs from human field meds. Sterile mixers first. Celira clutched the newborns to her chest. Scaled skin gleamed under the medlights. Tiny frills quivering. One twin mewled, the other kicked with surprising force. She locked eyes with Evan. They fight like you. Commander Varro loomed in the doorway, disruptor slung low. Keld's forces regroup. Perimeter holds but not long. Doctor stabilized them. Eric's tendrils flew over the console. Hormone panel confirms. Human resilience boosts their output, but Sailor's biology rejects the crosslink. Risky synth protein is our bridge.
Evan nodded, hands steady on the printer.
Nozzles whirred. First mixer ejected. Gleaming. Sealed. He snatched it. Loaded filament for housings. Human kits handle worse. These kids get the upgrade. Celira shifted on the birthing slab, sweat beating her iridescent scales. Contractions had faded, but fatigue clawed deep. Evan knelt beside her, passing a hydration pouch. Drink. Slow sips. Human rule 1. Dehydration kills faster than anything. She squeezed the pouch, liquid cycling through her gill flaps. Your rules saved us in labor. Now teach me more. Crash position breathing next. Evan demonstrated, bracing his arms like a brace. In through nose, out controlled. Stabilizes O2 under stress. Practice. Celira mimicked, chest rising steady. Twins stirred against her. Vera watched. Frills flattening in approval. Protocol demands evacuation. Your habits intrigue. Technician. Alarms wailed again. Red lights pulsed. Intruders in outer ring. Lab sector targeted by Vero barked into his comm. Evacuate the heirs. Seal vents. Evan grabbed the cooling injector housings. Printer spat the last one.
Perfect seal. He welded it shut with a palm torch.
Celeria, up. Walking endurance now. Build circulation. Fights clots. She rose, legs wobbling under the weight of new motherhood. Evan supported her elbow. Gentle, firm. Heel toe. Slow march, like field training. Celira paced the confined lab, twins bundled secure. Each step steadied her sway. Feels primitive, effective. Eric snatched the printed parts. Mixing now. Human tolerances exceed ours. Your proteins bond where ours fail. Vial swirled. Synth protein forming a shimmering gel. Boots echoed closer. Disruptor fire cracked the outer bulkhead. Varro raised his weapon. They'd breach in 30. Move. Evan slung the medkit. Back vents. My schematics. To recycle. He punched overrides. Air ducts hissed open. Celira leaned into him, breath even from practice. Claim bond holds. Family first. They crawled single file. Evan led, pad glowing with paths. Twins quieted in the dark. Varro covered rear blasts scorching metal behind. Eric whispered, panel complete. Inject on my mark. Evan glanced back. Celira's eyes burned fierce. Cultural walls crumbled here. Human grit meshing her royal steel.
Duct narrowed.
Evan wedged through, hauling gear. Temp control critical. Human norm. Cool and dry. Your heat spikes fry nerves. Celira nodded, adjusting her cloak vents. Learned. Hydration holds. Varro grunted. Your steady beats my elite. Keld underestimates. They spilled into a service bay. Alarms screamed.
Chancellor Keld's voice boomed over speakers. Surrender the abominations.
Succession demands purity. Evan ignored it. Set up the injector station. Risky. Human synth could overload their gills.
Celira held steady. Evan guided her hand to the pouch.
Breathe, crash position. For them, needle pierced. Tiny body arched, then settled. Vitals climbed. Second twin dosed. Stronger kick. Celira laughed low, triumphant. They endure. Security klaxons peaked. Varro sealed the bay. Ku falters. Reinforcements inbound. But shadows shifted outside. Celts guards massed. Disruptors. Wind. Charge. Evan scanned vents anew. Secondary path. Thablab backup online remote. He patched in, queuing more mixers. Hands flew. Celira walked laps around the bay, endurance building. Circulation flushed color to her scales. Twins nursed. Hybrid hunger fierce. Eureka monitored. Hormones. Sync. Human boost. Extraordinary. They adapt. Varro's calm crackled. Loyalists hold palace core. Keld isolated. Evan printed a field brace from scraps. Human design. Alien scale. Strapped it to Celira. Temp stabilizer. Crash ready. She tested it. U-turn crisis to cradle. Blast rocked the bay. Guards poured in. Varro fired, dropping 2. Protect the heirs. Evan scooped twins into a sealed carrier, his print. Celira beside him, walking strong. Eric clutched vials. They charged a side hatch. Evan overrode locks. Go. Corridors blurred. Celira matched his pace, breaths controlled. Cultural gaps bridged in motion, her discipline, his prep. Keld's voice pursued. The human taints the line. Varro laid suppressing fire. He saves it.
They hit the royal wing. Doors slammed shut.
Medbays secure. Eric rescanned. Trimester stable. Carrier proteins integrate. Celira sank into recovery frame. Twin safe. Evan checked her hydration. Good work, princess. She pulled him close. Claim bond sealed deeper.
Husband.
Father. Evan's grip tightened. Competence forged family. Varro saluted. Tests passed. Welcome, Rook. Outside, Ku crumbled. Keld's forces scattered. But scanners pinged new. Intruders in the nursery wing. Evan reloaded the printer feed. Next batch. They won't stop. Celira rose anew. Together. Hybrids thrived. Bond unbreakable. Crisis evolved, but Evan's hand stayed steady. Lights died across the embassy ring. Guards froze, plasma rifles half raised in the sudden black. Evan Rook dropped his printer feed. I can route power move. Commander Varro's silhouette shifted. Bioluminescent markings on his armor glowed faint. Civilian, stay behind the shield wall. Evan ignored him.
He slapped his multi-tool against the nearest panel. Sparks flew.
Fingers danced over exposed conduits. Human jury rig from station days. Aliens built for permanence.
Humans adapted.
Celira's voice cut through. Evan! Go, he yanked a relay. Auxiliary grid hummed alive. Emergency strips flickered red along the ceiling. Attackers silhouetted against the glow. Keld's loyalists, 10 strong, cloaked in shadow weave. Rifles snapped up. Varro barked. Shield formation. Protect the heirs. Guards surged into a wedge around Celira and the carrier. Twins wailed inside Evan's sealed print, hybrid lungs demanding air. Celira clutched the brace he'd strapped to her torso, post-birth stabilizer holding her frame steady. She moved with them, disciplined strides matching Varro's. Evan sealed the panel. Light stabilized. Exposed. Flank left. Varro glanced back, eyes widening at the rerouted grid. How protocol demands main power. Protocol's dead.
Evan pointed. 2 at the vents.
3 advancing. Plasma bolts scorched walls. 1. Guards returned fire, dropping the flankers. Celira's hand found Evan's arm amid the crush. Her scales warm, claim bond pulse, syncing their heartbeats. Your hands turned dark to dawn. They pushed down the corridor. Scanners and Evan's wrist unit pinged. More loyalists sealing the ring. Keld's play to isolate them before the core palace rally. Varro shoved Evan toward a side alcove.
Technician, secure the rear.
Do not engage. Evan scanned the bulkhead map projected on his tool, service routes spider-webbed beneath. Not staying. Map incoming. Celira overrode. Voice code trilled. High royal pitch.
Service Alpha 3, converge. Guard split.
Half peeled into hatches, Evan highlighted.
His finger traced paths, bypassed the jam node here. Vent cluster there. Varro tested the first route. Boots echoed clean.
Human foresight beats our scans. A loyalist burst from a side grate.
Cloak shed, blade drawn. He lunged at Celira's gap. Evan tackled blow. Momentum slammed the assassin into bulkhead.
Armor cracked. Evan pinned the arm, wrenching the blade free.
Stay down, the alien thrashed, mandibles clicking fury. Evan drove elbow into throat plates, human leverage on weak joints. Guard plasma ended it. Sailor Ra knelt beside him, breath steady despite the brace. You shield as fiercely as any knight. Evan wiped blood. His knuckles split. Just physics. Corridor ahead branched to nursery wing. Intruders massed there, per his wrist ping. Keld's voice boomed from hacked speakers. The mongrel spawn taints then blood. Yield the pretender. Vero snarled. Chancellor isolated. Core holds. Twins quieted, his print seals holding atmosphere mix. Human airtight, alien humidity balanced. Eric Null clutched her vials behind them, rescanning mid-stride. Integration stable.
Proteins bind.
Salira's eyes locked on Evan. Cultural gap bridged. Her poise, his prep. She squeezed his hand. Claim deepens. Father to my line. Warmth spread. Not just bond. Family forged in fire. Plasma exchange intensified. Loyalists held the nursery choke. Varro's shield took hits, armor pitting. Evan dropped to a knee. Grenade ports jammed. I can flush Ox Vance. Varro covered him. Risky. Structural fail. Done it on worse. Evan hotwired a floor grate. Air whooshed. He fed a power spike through feedback loop from the grid he'd restored. Lights in the attacker's zone strobed overload. Cloaks fried. 5 exposed, firing wild. Guards voice-coded forward. Sailor directed Venkesh. Flank Theta. Evan's map lit their path. They poured through service routes, plasma carving loyalists. One breached the main corridor. Assassin elite Keld's Black Ops vibro dagger humming. Evan lunged. Shoulder to gut, they crashed into wall plating. Bulkhead dented, dagger scraped Evan's ribs. Assassin twisted, claws raking. Forehead to crest, stars burst but grip held. He jammed thumb into eye socket. Alien screeched. Salira's guard dragged the body off. Evan rose, blood slicking his shirt. Varro clapped his shoulder. Rare alien gesture. Tests exceed protocol.
You fight as kin.
Doors hissed open. Hybrid's cribs glowed soft. No intruders. Evan's routes had preempted. But alarms wailed anew. Chancellor Keld's shuttle pinged on external scan. Evac attempt loyalists rallying for off-world smear. Salira activated throne link. Core forces, interdict Keld vessel. Evidence secured. Evan printed fresh braces for the guards. Instant scale fit. Crash barriers next. He flees. We pursue smart.
Eric nodded. Birth plan evolves.
Hybrids bond cross-species. Viable. Twins cooed as Sailor lifted the carrier. Her free hand traced Evan's jaw. Steady hands birth our future. Evan met her gaze. Competence sealed it. Not heroics, just doing. Palace shook from distant blasts.
Coup cracked.
Varro saluted. Rook. Brother in guard.
Keld's voice crackled defeat. The human...
Impossible. Scanners pinged shuttle down. But deeper ping stirred. Embassy sublevels. Forgotten vaults. More loyalists. Evan reloaded printer. Batch 2. They dig in. Together. Bond unbreakable. Crisis shifted. But Evan's tools stayed ready. Deeper alarms howled. Sublevel breach confirmed. Shadows moved below, heavier than loyalists. Something worse.
Evan mapped vents. Armored heavies.
Cold's failsafe. Varro gripped rifle. We hold. Sailor's claim pulse thrummed. Family advances. They descended. Lights he'd routed held true. Human steady met alien steel. A bulkhead groaned open. Hulking figures emerged. Keld's cyber augments, blades whirring. 10. Blocking the vault core. Evan's wrist unit analyzed. Weak joints, power cells exposed. Target vents. Overload like before. Guards, charged. Plasma lit the dark. One augment swung at Sailora. Evan intercepted. Multi-tool sparking into its cell. Explosion rocked it back. She fired point blank. For the heirs. Varro laid cover. Human edge turns tide. They cleared 5. Eric dosed a downed guard stems from her vials. Evan braced a collapsing strut, human grip holding tons. Path clear. Vault doors parted. Inside, Keld's data core, pulsing with smear vids. Pregnancy scandals, hybrid lies. Sailira smashed it. Sparks died. But a final augment rose behind. Claws at Evan's back. He spun, tackled into console. Systems fried. Quiet fell. Twins carrier hummed safe. Celera pulled him up. Lips brushed his intimate cross-species fire. Husband. You weave our worlds. Competence built this. Not flash, fix. Varro secured perimeter. Coup ends. Welcome Rook family. External comms cleared. Palace core cheered. Eric smiled. Biologies merge. Thriving. Yet Evan's scan pinged faint. Off-world signal? Keld escaped?
Or ally? Printer up, he said.
Next phase. Celera nodded, unbroken.
New era dawned, but the ping strengthened.
Incoming threat. Fleet signatures. Evan's hands moved, steady as ever. Doctor. Eric Nall jabbed a syringe into Evan's arm. Live cross-match. Now. Her scaled fingers clamped his vein. Guards flanked the medbay table, plasma rifles humming. Evan didn't flinch. He watched the vial fill with his blood, crimson against her iridescent tubes. Palace alarms still echoed faintly from the vault breach. Celera stood across the room, her tail coiled tight, one hand on her abdomen. Twins stirred inside her, hybrids no. One had dared confirm until now.
Steady pressure, Eric muttered. She swapped vials, injecting a tracer dye.
Xenogenetic linker next. Hold still, human. Evan nodded. Go ahead. His wrist unit beeped, fleet signatures sharpening on scan. But first, proof. He rolled up his sleeve higher, exposing the fresh bruises from the augment takedown. Eric's probe hummed against his skin. Nanites burrowed, linking his DNA markers to Celera's archived sample. This binds paternal viability, no shortcuts. Her eyes flicked to the guards. Commander Varro loomed in the doorway, mandibles clicking suspicion. Procedure clean? Varro growled. Flawless compliance.
Eric taped a sealant over the entry point. Linkers active.
Cross-match in 60 seconds. Evan flexed his fingers. Pain prickled, but he breathed even. Back home, station techs patched hull breaches mid-shift. This? Just another fix.
Isolira crossed to him.
Her claws grazed his hand, gentle, possessive. You endure for us.
Family does. He met her gaze.
Golden eyes softened. The console chimed. Eric yanked data feeds. Gestation pathway forming. Hybrid markers stable. Results? Not yet. Eric's tail lashed. Full scan. Evan slid off the table. His legs held firm despite the vault strut's weight still aching his shoulders. He checked his unit. Fleet ETA. 2 hours. We need that broadcast locked before they hit Atmo. Celera pulled him toward a side chamber. Declaration first. Holo recorder activated. Imperial seal glowing. She faced it. Posture regal. By royal statute, 4-7. Alpha, I, Princess Celera Ven, declare Evan Rook, co-guardian of our heirs. Paternal claim affirmed. Succession secured. The recorder beeped acceptance. Auto archive pinged to Palace Core. Evan stood silent beside her. No speeches. Just there. Varro waved the guards out. Door hissed shut. He rounded on Evan alone.
Truth. Technician. You chase crowns.
Spawn royals?
Evan met the commander's stare. Never asked for any of it. Fixed a relay. Woke up bonded. That's the job. Varro's frills flared. Humans fix. We defend. Yet you held the strut. Tackled steel.
Why? Keeps people breathing. Evan shrugged.
Yours or mine. Varro paused. Mandibles stilled. Protocol fails. You don't. He clapped Evan's shoulder. Hard, approving. Prove the heirs next. Back in medbay, Eric slammed the analyzer. Screen flickered. Paternal compatibility confirmed. The words blazed empire-wide. Palace comms erupted. Cheers thundered through vents. Hollow screens in every hall flashed the verdict. Viable hybrid pathway, twins, royal blood, human grit, locked in gestation. Celera gripped Evan's arm. Her scales flushed violet. Legitimate. Ours. Eric beamed. Pathway robust. Human resilience bridges our gaps. Birth plan. Standard Ven gestation. Augmented with your linker protocols. Oxygen feed stable? Nutrient sink? Affirmative. Eric tapped keys. Your blood factors prevent rejection. Extraordinary baseline durability. Court feeds flooded in. Nobles bowed on hollow. Heirs rise. Human consort proven. That Evan's unit screamed. Fleet signatures resolved. Keld's exile armada, 20 cruisers. Weapons hot. Breach vector, outer docks. Varro barked into comms. Shields up, battle stations. Cellular world. They strike now? To discredit. Evan pulled his multi-tool. Printer schematics first. Rig defenses.
Eric bundled samples. Lab secure.
Airs stable. Evan moved to the bay console. Fingers flew. Rerouting power grids. Human habit. Patch before panic. Salira flanked him, rifle ready. Her free hand pressed his back. Warmth crossed scales and skin. Varro rallied guards outside. Rook's edge again. Alarms wailed. Hulls groaned as cruisers decloaked. Evan patched a shield node. Vents exposed.
Target like the augments. Salira nodded.
Together. Shields flared.
First volley glanced off. Evan braced for breach. Steady hands wove the fix. Competence bound them. Not crowns, not blood. Family. A new ping hit his unit.
Internal trader signal. Palace depths.
Keltsmol. Evan yanked a cable. Got a ghost in core access. Salira's eyes hardened.
Hunt it. They plunged into ducts.
Twins kicked approval. Bond deepened in shadows. Varro's voice crackled. Fleet holds. Your call, Rook. Evan spotted the signal source. Sealed chamber, pulsing red.
Breaching. Door sparked open.
Inside, Chancellor Keld's proxy drone. Uploading coup code. Blade's word. Evan dove. Tool jammed its core. Explosion rocked the duct. Salira blasted remnants, but drone whispered static. Fleet command. Hybrids die. Unit cleared. Shields at 80%. They're bluffing. Pushback. Imperial fighters launched. Lasers crisscrossed void. Varro's squad. Shredded flanks. Human tweaks. Overloaded vents. Turned 3 cruisers to slag. Salira pulled Evan close. Lips met his again. Fire across species.
You turn crises to kin.
Felt the kicks. We fix it. All of us. Eric, ComEd in. Scans perfect. Hybrids thrive on your linker. Court roared victory. Fleet remnants fled. Yet Evan's scan lingered on a faint trace. Keld himself. Planetfall pod, hidden in debris. Printer up, Evan said. Hunt the head. Celeria smiled. Unbroken family leads. Twins stirred stronger. New era charged, but pod signature strengthened. Chancellor inbound. Evan's grip tightened on his tool. Steady competence waited. Chancellor Keld slammed a holographic writ onto the court's central dais. Princess Salira Ven stands accused of reckless hybridization. Her claim bond with this off-world technician voids succession purity. Confine her to the palace vaults until tribunal review. Guards, enforce? Evan Rook stood at Salira's side, hand steady on her elbow. The court gasped. Alien nobles leaned forward, scales rippling with shock. Twins kicked hard against his palm, pressing through her gown. Salira straightened, blue skin glowing under the vaulted lights. She met Keld's glare. You can challenge my crown later. First, you will respect my family. Her voice cut the air like a blade. She turned, linking her arm through Evan's. Claim bond law supersedes confinement. We walk free. Murmurs erupted. Guards hesitated, claws twitching. Keld snarled. Seize them. The hybrids threaten the line. Evan scanned the chamber. Exit corridors flanked by sensor arches. Power conduits hummed behind panels. His domain. He squeezed Salira's arm. Steady. Follow my lead. She nodded. Eyes fierce. They strode forward. Guards parted. Claim bond protocols flashed on overhead hollows. Royal consort protected.
Interference treason. Keld lunged after them.
This isn't over, human. Your barbaric seed pollutes us. Evan didn't turn. Palace corridors swallowed them. Salira's breath quickened. Twins, thrashed. He'll rally the tribunal. We need ground. Evan pulled his comm. Station schematics overlaid his vision. Not palace. Station's public wing, monitored, neutral. Open access, full scans. I propose it as compromise. Broadcast live. No scandals, just facts. Her scales flushed deeper blue. Approval. Practical. Forward to Varro. Commander Hesh Varro's voice crackled through. Rook's plan viable. Relocating now. Keld's pod logs show unauthorized descent. Reviewing your grid data. Evan punched station codes. Doors sealed.
Salira leaned into him.
You see fixes where I see traps. Human habit. He checked her vitals on his wrist scanner. Heart rate stable. Linker implant pulsed green hybrids, syncing perfectly. Lift hummed upward. Station docking bay loomed through viewports. Varro squad waited, armored forms rigid. Heshvaro blocked their path. His crest flared yellow. Suspicion. Your logs claim sabotage. Prove it before I clear this move.
Evan tapped his tool belt, uploaded power grid traces.
Keld's proxy drone pulled 2.7 gigs unauthorized. Corridor cams caught the pod shadow. Debris camo, but heat bloom matches his shuttle sig. Holos projected. Drone breach. Evans yank on the cable. Explosion flash. Faint pod streak amid fleet wreckage. Varro's eyes narrowed. Claws flexed, then he barked into calm. Security to Palace Deus. Arrest Chancellor Overnkeld for high treason. Sabotage and coup incitement. Evidence sealed. Court feeds switched live. Keld's face twisted as guards pinned him. Lies, the human manipulates. Evan cut the feed. Done.
Celerai. You turned his strike to chains.
Varro grunted. Competence noted, Rook. Station residents approved. Full monitor detail.
His gaze lingered on her belly.
Crest softened to green. Protect them. Evan nodded. They crossed into the station's public arcology. Transparent walls showed void beyond. Imperial cruisers patrolling. Neutral ground. Cameras everywhere. Salara's hand found his. Residence module sealed behind them. Soft lights activated. Medbay hummed online. Dr. Eric Nall bustled in, scanner whirring. Vitals optimal. Human linker stabilizes hybrid rhythms. Your adrenaline sinks their growth. Extraordinary. Evan unpacked tools. Power feed secure. No ghosts here. Celera paced. Shadows played on her scales. She stopped at a viewport, stars reflecting in her eyes. Twins quieted. Then she grabbed his wrist, pulled him into the maintenance nook, tight space behind access panels. Conduits thrummed soft. Her body pressed close. Heat-bridging species. Evan. Her voice dropped. Intimate. Claws traced his jaw. Gentle, claiming. Promise me. Stay for the birth. See our family whole.
He met her gaze.
Felt her pulse race against his chest. Biological chasm. His lungs, her gills, his frame, her fluidity. Yet Linker bridged it. Kicks fluttered between them. Promise. He cupped her face. Lips met fire across divides. Slow, deep. Her moan vibrated through him. She pulled back, eyes shimmering. Claim sealed. Unbroken. Evan held her. Steady. Competence waited. For birth. For bond. For whatever coup shadow remained. But his scanner pinged. Faint trace in the grid. Keld's sig, not confined. Escaped? Twins kicked harder. Celera smiled. They sense it. Hunt with me. Evan gripped his tool. Family led the charge.